NFL football kicks off this week, and while sports betting has been legal on tribal lands here in Washington since 2020, it's still new to a lot of people. So we invited Trevor Curtis from Caesars Sportsbook at Muckleshoot Casino to give us the lowdown on what to expect. So you're going into the second full season of the NFL. Do you feel like people are getting the hang of sports betting?
Yeah, it's still in infancy as far as sports wagering in Washington State, but I think people are starting to get a hold of it and starting to understand it a little bit more. Our staff is still there to help with anybody with any questions or concerns they have as far as, you know, new to sports betting, or even seasoned veterans come in there and they don't know what they're doing. They try to pretend like they know what they're doing, but sometimes they just need a little help, a little guidance as well.
I love that. Okay, so say, all right, I'm going to go. What is the best time to arrive on game day?
So right now on Saturdays and Sundays for college football and NFL football, we have food and beverage available. Get yourself an ultimate Bloody Mary or a 12th man scramble. 9 a.m. is when we start serving food and beverage for the games that kick off at 10.
Super early.
You can get there early and get yourself a drink and some food and things like that as well.
So it's brunch and sports betting. That sounds amazing.
All the way through, dinner as well.
Okay, so can you explain some of the different things you can bet on? I know it's not just I've learned this much. It's not just the overall outcome, right? There's other things you can bet on too, right?
Yeah, so you can bet on obviously the winner or the loser of the game, most basic, the over-under on the point totals for the teams. But there's also things right now as we're going into the NFL season, like future bets. So you can bet the Seahawks right now. They're about a middle of the pack team right now, about 35 to 1 on your money. If you bet $10, you can win $350 if they win the Super Bowl. They're about 14 to 1 to make the Super Bowl. 2 to 1 to make it to win the division, things like that, as well as player prop bets. You can bet on your favorite player to go over so many yards, Geno Smith to throw over 250 yards, or you think he's not going to have a good game, you can bet him under certain totals. We got DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett. You can bet them to score a touchdown. I think that's about 6 or 7 to 1 right now on your money. And
so I know, because my husband always says if he had betted on his favorite sports team to win the Super Bowl, he would have won like all this money. So like there's a possibility that you can really just, you know, even if you just lay a little bit on your favorite sports team, right? The odds are high.
Yeah.
So can you bet ahead of time? Like a few days before or something?
Yeah, for sure. You can always come into our casino anytime and bet the game before. We can actually bet right now on every Seahawks game that's throughout the whole season right now. They have spreads on every game right now throughout the entire season. So things could change, but we have a feature called Bet Ahead where you can actually, from your house, you don't need an account, you don't have to put any money on there. You can actually see all the odds, play with it, kind of make some bets, kind of see what kind of bets you like to make. And then it'll create a code for you, which then you can come into the casino and give it to either our staff or to a kiosk and type in that code, and then the bet that you like is there.
Oh my goodness, so it does it all for you. It's like doing your homework.
Yeah.
I think that's fantastic. All right, so there's also live betting though while the game goes on, right? Like it's exciting.
Correct. So if you did show up a little late, or you know you're just there hanging out at the casino already and you wanted to maybe bet on that game because you see it on TV, Thursday night kicks off here, maybe you show up at halftime or in the middle of the third quarter, you can still bet on that game. They treat it like the stock market, so there's just constantly that you can bet on the ups and downs of the swing. Then the very next play, you think it's going to be a touchdown, you think it's going to be a field goal, you think it's going to be a turnover. Literally, you can bet that next thing.
That would be really, really fun. I mean, I could see that really, really getting into the game while you're doing that. The Mariners are really hot right now. Can you bet on baseball too, or is it just football?
Yes, you can bet on the Mariners as well. Right now, they've been hot recently. Last time I talked to Chris Egan right before the All-Star game, and they were about 35 to 1. They've now been on a hot streak. They're about 14 to 1 to win the World Series. So if you would have bought when they were high.
That's what I'm saying. That's really fascinating.
Yeah, you can bet on players to hit Julio to hit a home run tonight. You can bet on him to hit a home run. You can bet on the players to actually have so many hits or over-unders on those kinds of things as well. So
speaking of which, has the Sportsbook had any big wins recently? Can I ask that?
Yeah, well, we had one. We post a lot of our big wins on our social media platforms. One we had last week was a $30 ticket. They picked 14 games right, and they won $40,000 off of $30. Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. That is crazy. All right, last question before I let you go. How is the new hotel coming on? Because that's what I'm really excited about.
It's coming along. I've been on top of it where the steakhouse is at. It's a very beautiful view of Mount Rainier. It's right in front of your face. It's coming along beautifully. I think they're almost there. Not quite an exact date yet, but we're getting there.
Well, if they let me out of the studio, I want to go to the steakhouse.
Yeah.
This was so fun. Thank you
Yeah.
for taking the time to educate me and all of us on this. And to learn more about the Caesars Sportsbook at Muckleshoot Casino, visit the website on your screen.